Are you even surprised at this point that people are still trying to tear down 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy after he started the season 5-0 and is in the MVP conversation? Well, Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show to discuss what he thinks of Brock Purdy's play against the Dallas Cowboys and his play overall. And guess what? Aaron Rodgers, he's a fan of San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy. Take a listen to what he had to say right here.
I want to get back to what I was asking you about Brock Purdy, though. You put him over last week and talked about him, and you talk about how the quarterback is ultimately the guy that has to pull the trigger and put the ball there. So it's not just the coordinator. Dan Orlovsky said you put Mac Jones over there, he'd be doing the same exact thing that Brock Purdy's doing, and Dan probably has a reason to say that, but I feel like that's everybody's opinion that doesn't like Brock Purdy. They just think it's Shanahan's offense and yada, yada, yada. This dude makes seemingly every right decision quicker than any young quarterback has in a long time. I guess C.J. Stroud is another guy to kind of throw into that thing. Why is that the thought? And do you think Brock Purdy hears any of this whenever he's going about his business throughout the week?
Oh, I hope he does. I hope he does. Because that's just a little extra fodder, a little extra motivation on the shoulder. I'll tell you what, man, I don't know how you watch that film and come to that conclusion. I know there's a lot of so-called experts on the network that you're repping now.
Whoa, don't throw us into that whole thing. Whoa.
Hey. No, nobody on your show. I mean,
of course,
you guys all have educated opinions, but you're also open-minded to not be having all the answers. You know, you constantly are talking about, you know, how you guys are. Well, you personally, you know, how you're not the smartest in the room.
All of us.
And I'm not claiming to be the smartest in the room either, but I will say that when I watch Brock Purdy, I see a guy making some big-time throws. And he made a couple the other night that were incredible, throwing over the top of guys, throwing around guys, moving up in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, making plays. And, yeah, Kyle's a great play caller. And Kittle, I saw him on the show yesterday. He's a great player. And Debo's a fantastic, Swiss Army knife, and CMC is one of the best, if not the best, running backs in the league, and the line is great, and on and on and on. And at the end of the day, one guy pulling the trigger. And he's been making a lot of really good decisions. You talk about interceptions. He doesn't have one yet on the season, I don't believe, right?
No.
So this kid, he was drafted with the last pick. There's some motivation. I remember we played him in the preseason that year, and he came in and he took him right down the field. I remember thinking, like, man, that's pretty cool for that kid. Last pick in the draft, might have a chance to make the team. Alan would say there's a lot to that Iowa State mentality. I'm sure. How they raise them out there. I know Ty doesn't like that.
Yeah, he'd be wrong, but that's okay.
But that's it. But I would say that's probably a pretty fun city to hang out in, right? Ames, pretty good.
Yeah. The armpit of America, you bet.
What is your problem? Ames is a good place. They got good people up there.
You want to have fun in Iowa, you go to Iowa City, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, I'm not going to Waterloo.
I mean, not according to Brees and not according to Alan Lazard. But anyway, listen, Brock's done a great job. I hope they keep shit talking him just for his sake. Just give him a little extra motivation because that's always fun. But I think he's quieting people every single week.
Just like Aaron Rodgers so eloquently says, if you watch the tape, how can you not see how good Brock Purdy is playing? And there lies the key, is that these people who have national platforms, who talk for a living about football, don't actually watch the film. They don't actually spend time. They read box scores. They use these perceptions. They spin narratives. And that's the beauty of it. Because when they're wrong, doesn't matter. They're always wrong. They just, they'll either backpedal, they'll either stay their ground and just maintain their point, and they move on. It's rinse, wash, and repeat. If they're wrong, sometimes they'll just say, hey, I was wrong. He's really good. And that's it. And they move on with their lives. But who am I to tell these people how to think? I just think it's funny that all the football people know Brock Purdy's really, really good. But you tell me, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers had to say about Brock Purdy? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.